All right, we are back for another podcast this week. We got a good one. We're preaching full transparency, so this podcast is a little different, but we're just gonna talk about what's been going on the past couple weeks with us and just what we've learned. So, starting off, we'll talk about Davis and I both got COVID towards the beginning of January. Luckily, at least I didn't get it too bad. I just had a stuffy nose, muscle aches. Took it easy for about 5 days, just resting, which kind of stunk because threw me off from weightlifting and working out. Didn't work out for 5 days, and then getting back into that, I was slow. Not slow, but I was just slowly working back into it. And then this past Wednesday, I got tooth surgery. I don't know if you can see, but I had a dental implant put in on one of my front teeth. So that happened Wednesday. Today was my first day working out. So it kind of stinks because I wanted to commit to consistency, at least with working out this year. So it started off a little shaky, but definitely working on reading books. I already finished the book, which was good, and just trying to improve mentally.
Yes, I would second that this episode is going to be all about challenges and trying to overcome them. Everyone's going to face them. For us, probably the biggest one was COVID, just coming in, and it completely wiped us out. I got really sick from it. I had a 103-degree fever for a couple of days. I couldn't even walk. I went from being able to work out for a few hours, no problem, to literally can't even walk really. So it was devastating. I was sick for about a week, in and out of work, but now I'm back full speed ahead. Got a great workout in today, and so I'm feeling a lot healthier. On top of that, my second challenge would be I had originally set a goal this year to pass the CFA level 2 exam. I found out earlier this week I did not pass. I came up short. I'm going to have to study again, but the day I found out I was just angry as could be because I know I'm going to have to put a lot more time in, and there's just something when you put in maybe hundreds of hours to try to achieve a goal and you don't hit it the first time around. It was just devastating, but just going to have to learn from it and be a little smarter.
Yeah, so let's break that down first with sick and whatnot. I guess for me too, being sick and then having tooth work done gave me a greater appreciation for being healthy. I know that you were saying that, so I guess what are your thoughts now moving forward on just being healthy, being able to work out?
I agree. It's amazing because besides even being able to work out, just to be able to go to work, and we both work in jobs where you have to think, you have to be creative and be dynamic, and I was so tired I really couldn't think that week. I would work half days, but I just wasn't effective, wasn't nearly as productive, even though I'm putting my best effort, and it was really frustrating.
Yeah.
How'd you feel about it? Because I know you had to take some time off.
The first time granted, we've lived a very nice life, and we haven't really had to face too much serious adversity. The first time I realized this was back in May when I had my first jaw surgery.
Oh yeah.
Which I was out for about a week, and that was tough, and I couldn't really eat solid food for a week, and that made me realize how good food is, and that gave me a greater appreciation. But then once you start getting away from that adversity, you kind of fall back into that loop of taking things for granted. And then again, so I guess you need to have a little bit of adversity every now and then so you just appreciate life a little bit more.
I agree, because a lot of times people demean the everyday average life a little bit, like, oh, it's just the average, it's just the usual, but it's so much fun and there's so many great things that happen. I mean, Brennan's back again. He hasn't had solid food in 4 or 5 days at least.
Yeah, I've just been sticking to protein shakes. You can check out my eating on my TikTok. But yeah, I've just been eating Orgain protein shakes, which are pretty good, but gives you a greater appreciation for food.
Yes.
Yeah, so that just having, I know it's cliche to say, but
just having your health and being able to go out and do things, and I think it gives you a sense of people who have to deal with major injuries, sicknesses, whether it be even cancer, something like that, where for years and years they're just completely wiped out. I can't imagine the type of mental and physical challenge.
I guess this came up, you can answer as much as you want, but Davis actually broke his back or fractured his back his sophomore year of high school. Did you experience any of these thoughts back then where you were like, oh, I'm so glad to be healthy? Or just tell us what happened, and because I know that was pretty tough for you.
Definitely. Yes, when I was a sophomore in high school playing football, I got stress fractures in my back. It's actually a really common injury for athletes growing up, whether it's a sport like football or even gymnastics. But it usually takes about 3 to 4 months to fully recover. And I had to wear a back brace for about 3 months, couldn't play sports for the winter and spring. And it was an absolute killer because you're at that age where you want to go out, you want to have fun, make the experiences and play with your friends. And so to be stuck, and after wearing the brace, it's amazing how much your muscles atrophy. I couldn't do a single sit-up after wearing the brace, and basically just everything goes away. So after that, you have a long rehab process. So probably 5 months all in, and you're still young. But yeah, it was just difficult.
Did you have any positive takeaways from that experience?
Positive takeaways?
Because I heard a quote where nothing's always 100% negative or 100% positive.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I guess
now looking back, I mean, that was like, what, 10 years ago now?
Yeah, 10 years ago. Maybe 11. I don't know, 10, 11 years ago. I'd say, I mean, I got to do some other things because if you're not playing sports after school, I'd go to maybe debate team, just get a little bit more time to study. But overall, I mean, when you have an injury like that, it's pretty challenging. I've been lucky ever since that my back's been able to hold up. But again, you never know. And I think it's good motivation to stay in shape because if you add on extra weight, if you're not flexible, then it's a risk. I could get arthritis in my back or something by the time I'm 50 or 60.
Yeah, and if it doesn't hurt you now, you're only probably hurting your future self. So just keep that in mind. All right, then I guess the second thing to break down now is, I guess, do you have want to say anything else about that, or you want to?
I would say just it's amazing how just these injuries can shape you, whether it's like Brennan's teeth right here, because, I mean, he originally got his teeth knocked out back when he was about 10 years old playing baseball, and talking about that injury where, okay, I hurt my back back when I was a sophomore in high school. I mean, the long-term injuries, and you just hope they don't have true impacts on your health.
Yeah, but fortunate enough, we're all good now.
Yes.
And then breaking down the second thing, Davis didn't pass the CFA, which was a bummer. Do you know why or what you're going to do differently this time around to make sure that you have some success?
Yeah, so I've been thinking through it and analyzing it. I think it came down to a couple factors. Number one, I think I just spread myself too thin in the few months leading up to the CFA because I took it in November and I'd been studying since probably March, April. So the first few months I was doing reading, I was focused. But then as we hit the summer and the fall, whether it was doing these endurance events that take a lot of time to train for, travel to, and they just wipe you out. And also just other things that come up in life, whether it be vacations or I was coaching football this fall. I think in the months, probably like 3-4 months leading up to the test, I just didn't put in enough time. And I think I also said that before I was just trying to fit it in whenever I could, when I had a busy schedule, say 15, 30 minutes. If I'm on the bike, I'd be studying. I think when I go back and do it again, I'm going to make sure when I'm studying, that's my sole focus so that I'm getting as much as possible out of it, and maybe go and join a class as well. Because before I was just reading study books, doing practice problems, where if I can get even a few hours a week, just guided instruction, get some test takings, review, and just general hints on the concepts may make a difference. But I think, biggest thing, time management and getting focused.
There you go. So do you have anything else? Or?
I would say, no, definitely. I'd say when you get some type of news where you found out you failed or it didn't happen right away, definitely take 24 hours. I know they say that a lot in football as well. They say after the game, you just take 24 hours and think it through. Because for those 24 hours, I'll get really angry, really upset. But then after, you wake up and you're just ready to get after it again.
Yeah, Davis was making some emotional statements.
Yeah, you just question, do I really want to be doing this? Do I want to spend however many hours it takes, or do I want to put my time to something else?
Yeah, that's also a good thing to really determine if the end goal is something that you want.
Yeah.
Because we brought this up in other podcasts too, where instead of looking at this as a sacrifice, you're looking at an investment.
Instead,
changing the mindset. Investing in his career, where if he gets this level 2 CFA, it could take him to levels or positions or careers that he desires. And if you really truly want that, I mean, it's gonna be tough. You're gonna have to sacrifice something such as your time.
Yeah,
you're sacrificing your time for studying for this test. But this is a good roadblock to really question if this is what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I guess
Will be interesting.
We'll see what happens. Do you
Yeah.
have an idea when you're going to take it again, or?
Most likely in August.
Okay.
We gotta sign up, but then probably this spring and summer, I'll make sure I sit down, focus. But you're right, because there'll be times, whether it be weekends or after work, I was thinking there's gonna be good weather outside. You want to go out, you want to run, you want to bike, but I'm gonna have to be disciplined and say, hey, I've got to set aside 2-3 hour time blocks and study.
Yeah. All right. Well, I don't have anything else.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else? You want any questions or?
Last thing would be I've started doing a little bit more research into cryptocurrencies.
Okay.
I got an instructional video trying to understand the code behind it, how it links together. And to me, it baffled me that the biggest security feature of the cryptocurrencies is a single hash signature.
What's
so
that?
It's basically just one line of code that connects all the different blocks in the chain. So like when they say blockchain, if you have blocks A, B, C, they're just linked together by one line of code. And so,
What does that entail, though? Like somebody can hack it?
you would think hypothetically that if you could quickly enough go through the blockchain and see all the signatures, you would know it. And I think it was interesting because just in looking at this, we hear blockchain, you hear, oh, it's the future, it's so secure. And I think the biggest thing is just millions and millions of computers have copies of the blockchain, so you can't change it. But to me, to actually go in and study a concept that I don't have much background in, I thought it was fascinating. And it's just another little thing that I've been...
Yeah, I guess this is another question, because Dave's actually just recently got an NFT from his friend Jerry.
Jerry, yes. It was exciting.
What are your thoughts on NFTs? Because they're popping off right now.
I think it was a really cool experience to have to figure out...
All right, what is an NFT?
An NFT is called a non-fungible token. And in terms of what you see a picture, kind of like a trading card.
Yeah.
So you see it, but in reality, it's just a really long set of code. So you would be able, like one string of code that says, okay, we have this trading card. In Jerry's case, it shows a picture of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And so basically you buy this individual code, and whether it's the rarity of it or someone's backing it that's famous, like you've been talking about with the celebrities,
yeah,
that's supposed to give it value. And it's pretty much like artwork online.
So what's the value behind Jerry's NFT?
So with Jerry's NFT, he's going to allow you to do different things in Las Vegas. So the keys to Vegas, they're going to be revealed. He's done his drop. He's got the NFTs out there. They're on OpenSea, another platform where I'm learning all this for the first time, using a MetaMask wallet, going into the NFT marketplace, OpenSea. I also purchased another cryptocurrency, Evergrow coin, recently, just trying to understand, okay, connect the wallet. How do you make the purchases, exchange cryptocurrencies? And I'm definitely not an expert, but it's pretty cool to look into.
Okay, so basically you're buying something that you don't know what's behind, just based off the
NFT.
The trustworthiness of the holder. Like, yeah. I know the Nuck Boys did that. The Nuck Boys just had a drop. We were talking about this.
Yes.
So they made like 23 mil in 8 minutes or something, and it's just all based on promises.
Yes.
So that's it. That's basically what it is.
That's who's backing it. Just like the U.S. government backs the dollars, you've got Nuck Boys backing their NFT. You've got Jerry backing.
You think this is going to be a big thing for companies, where if companies issue these NFTs, like let's say Nike issues a bunch of them.
Yes.
I mean, they're a reputable company. Or what about Meta?
Yes. It'll be interesting to see if these NFTs stay around over time, I think, because companies like NFT, Twitter, they have had success.
NFT? That's
not NFT, Twitter, NBA. I got my initials mixed up right there. But yeah, they've been selling these off for big money. I don't know if it's going to stick around for the long term. It's just for me, just trying to investigate, trying to just question the world around me. It's been cool to look at it and learn how to use a cryptocurrency wallet.
I think it's crazy
awesome.
how much it's exploded. Do you know anything about the Bored Apes? Like, what's the value behind that?
The Bored Apes,
I think they're going for a ton of money.
It's probably that people like them. They say, okay, they've got value, but also maybe rarity. I don't know, for that collection, maybe they're only 4 or 5. And it's like a Hannes Wagner trading card. If there are only 3 of them, people are willing to pay for it.
Couldn't you replicate it?
You could get it very close, but that's going back to the digital signature. For the Bored Apes, to get that exact picture, you have to have the certain digital code. And if you don't have it, it's not going to be the exact same.
So how does, let's say somebody, because I'm assuming a lot of these buyers don't have that much experience in that stuff.
Yeah.
So what happens if somebody takes a screenshot of a Bored Ape or a screen recording? Is that how, or do you
You
physically
won't
see
be
the
able to
code?
do it. Well, I think you could look at the code and figure it out because that's the power in the blockchain. Basically, all the computers see the code. So you think, okay, if one person tries to fake it, you say, no, that's not valid, and they'll pick it up as not valid. So basically, everyone can see the code, and because of that, you can't fake it.
But do you think? I mean, I guess it's all
Yeah.
hypothetical.
It would be like, think about it this way. If you have your real board ape and it ends in the number 12 for Tom Brady, he almost got his great comeback, and someone has a fake board ape, they'll see it ends in like the number 13.
Yeah, but how do they know what the legit board ape ends in? Like, what happens if it just goes from starts here and it trades to the next person, and it's like 100 people down the line? How do they know it's legit at that point?
It's all in the distributed ledger, so every transaction has to get verified. So you basically have 1 million computers, or however big the network is, saying that this is the real board
So the
ape.
systems are the key to it.
Pretty much. It's a technology.
Yeah, I don't know enough about NFTs.
Yeah,
I
I'm
think it's
just
just
learning.
crazy how much it's blowing up right now. But
I agree.
I guess if you are in NFTs, cool. But I'm not in it right now.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I guess some bonus content right there. Just talking about a topic that interests us. But I'd say, yeah, it's probably good for this session. And we'll be back again, hopefully a little stronger for next time.
Yep. See ya.